strap, a thick book, or a pillow for the bolster. So I am really humbled and blessed that I'm going to be part of your journey in your quest for fertility. And I really hope and pray that these series of classes that I'm creating for you will give you exactly what you're needing. So yoga for fertility is a pretty interesting concept. Basically, when we have problems with infertility, our energies are imbalanced. And just about everybody, if not everybody, has imbalances in their energies. The yin and yang, if you will. Most of us who live in the United States are very heavy with the yang or the masculine energy. We're constantly forced and rushed to do things, to get things done quicker, to do strenuous exercises that create heat in the body and build strength. And while that's all great and definitely things we need to do and things that we have to do, we also need to support the yin side or the feminine side of our energy. And yoga for fertility is going to do just that. So we're going to attempt to balance the yin and the yang life energies within us to send more energy into the body, to send more blood flow into those organs, and just have some time for you to sit, to relax in these postures and think about that the baby that's going to be growing inside of you one day. And with that, I say go ahead, find a comfortable place in your home, preferably next to a wall with no pictures or anything on it, because at the end of the class we're going to do legs up the wall, and a yoga mat, some loose clothing, a water bottle, and just get ready for a really relaxing yoga class. Namaste. And we're going to start lying on our back, one palm on our belly and one palm resting on our heart center. As you're here, I want you to breathe fully and deeply into your abdominal region, visualizing the prana, life force energy, filling your belly and creating a loving, open space for life. On the exhalations, visualize stress, defeating thoughts, frustrations, all leaving the body. Feel the muscles relax and get heavy with each exhalation. Feel your hands rise with your breath, and let the gentle rhythm of your breath take you deeper, deeper into relaxation. Set an intention related to your fertility journey. This can be as simple as, I intend to get pregnant and have a beautiful, healthy baby. It can also be something like, I intend to be kind to myself in this process of trying to conceive. Continue breathing until you feel calm, and the breath is even and smooth. Allow there to be a bit of a pause at the end of the exhale and at the end of the inhale before you start the next breath. Now practice incorporating a simple movement with slow, cautious breathing. Bend your knees and take your feet up off the floor and place your hands on your knees. On the exhale, bring your knees in, and on the inhale, just push the knees as far as your arms can take them. Repeat this movement a few times, and your focus should be mostly on the breath rather than on the movement. Move slowly, using the whole exhale to bring the knees towards your chest and the whole inhale to straighten your arms. And bring your knees in, exhale, and full inhale, knees away. Exhale, bring the knees in. And inhale, bring them away. And now on your next inhale, I want you to bring your arms up as you lift your hips off the floor. And then on the exhale, slowly roll down, lowering the hips and the arms together. See if you can roll down one vertebrae at a time. And notice if any part of the back wants to come down in a chunk. If so, take extra time with this area. So make sure you're inhaling, bring the hips and arms up, slowly, mindfully, with control. And exhale, lower, rolling the spine one vertebrae at a time as the arms lower. And again, lift the hips and the arms on the inhale. And slowly exhale it down. Peeling the spine off the mat. Inhale, lifting the hips high. Exhale, roll them down. Now we're going to set up for a supported bridge. So you can use your block here. You're going to place it underneath the lower part of your back, just underneath your sacrum, the small triangular shaped bone at the base of your spine. You may have to move the block up or down to find the space that feels most comfortable. Allow your whole body to relax here. You may feel a release in the pelvis and low back. You could stay in this pose for up to 5 minutes, so if you need to pause the video to just hang out here, please do so. Take some deep inhales and exhales as you relax into this pose. The supported bridge releases tension in the pelvis and low back, and it brings energy and vitality to the productive organs. It also helps release tension in the neck and shoulders. Now we're going to remove the block, and we're going to take the feet up off the floor and put your hands on your knees. Gently circle the knees one direction, keeping an even breath going with the circles. Try to have the movement flow the lead of the breath. After a few circles, pause and switch and go the other direction. So we're doing this because we're massaging the sacrum and it releases tension in the low back. The sacrum is part of the reproductive energy center, so keeping circulation and energy moving through this area is important. And it's another chance to practice your breath. Always bring your focus back to your breathing. Deep, complete inhale, full, complete exhale. Go ahead and release the feet to the floor. Grab your strap. You can choose to use the strap or not. But if you choose, I want you to just lift the right foot and pass the strap around the right shin, or you can do it behind the knee. And you're going to hold the strap in each hand. You're going to cross the left ankle inside the right knee, and one end of the strap should come through the triangular space at the center between the two legs. Basically stretching the outer hip or the hamstring area. You can choose to keep the right foot on the floor, or you can bring the foot up. Relax the face. See how many muscles in the body you can relax while allowing the outer hip rotators to stretch. We're going to release the foot to the floor, and we're going to do the same thing with the other foot. So crossing the left ankle over the right knee and pulling in. Releasing tension in these muscles also releases tension in the pelvic area and allows energy and blood flow to move more easily through this area. It also helps alleviate low back pain. Breathing, relaxing, and bringing both feet to the floor now. And we're going to grab the straps and we're going to place them on top of our feet in a happy baby pose. You can choose to use the strap or release the strap and hold the outer sides of your feet, like the pinky sides of your feet, and just pull the knees to the outside of your ribs and just relax. This is a great hip opener, and it helps increase the blood flow into the pelvic area. So pulling the knees down to the floor, just releasing letting go, returning to your breath. As you find yourself relaxing in these poses, I like to close my eyes to just really visualize the breath flowing in and out of the body. And now we're going to release the feet to the floor, keeping your ankles close to your bottom, bringing your hands to your lower belly. With an exhale, gently press the low back onto the floor, and then an inhale, release, and let the low back come up again. So exhale, press the low back to the mat. Inhale, release the low back. Exhale, push the low back into the floor. Inhale, release. This also encourages blood and energy flow and releases tension and stagnation in the pelvis. Do this gently. Try not to engage the abdomen muscles. You're just rocking the hips, pushing down and releasing. Now we're going to bring our arms to a T, and we're going to drop to one side. It doesn't matter which side, but we're going to twist. Allow the knees to drop over towards the right or left, keeping the feet touching the mat. You don't need to keep the entire sole of the foot on the floor. It can be the edge. Just make sure it's still touching the floor. And you're going to turn and look opposite of the way you're twisting. Deep inhales, full and complete exhales. Relax the space between your eyes. Let go of the tension in your jaw. Return your focus to the breath. We're going to lift our knees, and we're going to twist to the opposite direction, turning our head the other way. These twists are cleansing and rejuvenating for the organs, such as the uterus and the intestines and glands, such as the ovaries. Twistings like this have a calming effect on the central nervous system. I like to do twists like this before bed. I believe it helps me sleep better. Now we're going to bring our knees up and then roll to one side, with both knees bent. Take a breath or two as you pull your hands into the mat. You're pushing down to come up into a tabletop position. So on our hands and knees, with your wrists underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. On the inhale, you're going to tilt your tailbone up and arch your back. And then exhale, you're going to round your spine, pressing your hands into the mat. And then again, inhale, looking up, drawing your shoulders back away from the ears. And then exhale, tilt your tailbone down towards the floor and round your spine. Inhale, looking up for your cow pose. Exhale, round the spine, cat, pushing the mat away with your arms. Inhale, sinking the belly, tightening the shoulders together. And now coming back to a neutral spine, we're going to do cat-cow circles. So circle the hips and rib cage around to the right, bending the elbows as much as you need. This is a very free form movement, so just do what feels good for your body. You may get some forward and back movement as well, circling. Please breathe here. This should feel really good. Might feel a little weird doing it, especially if somebody walks in the room watching you, but it feels really great on the body, spine, pelvis, the shoulders, the chest. After a few breaths, go ahead and switch and move to the other direction. Now we're going to sink down into our hips, into child's pose. So bring the tailbone to your heels. Bring your knees wide apart. Palms facing down onto the floor. And just rest the forehead on the mat. Breathing. This is a resting pose. So now we're going to bring some movement. Go ahead and walk the hands to the right side, stretching the side body. Keep breathing. And then we're going to walk the hands to the other side. Child's pose is known for its calming effect, which is partly due because you're resting the forehead down. It also stretches and relaxes the low back, and it opens the shoulders. And then we're going to bring the hands back to the center. And we're going to slowly come on up to all fours. Take an inhale, engage the muscles in the arms, relax the space between your shoulder blades. Exhale, curl your toes up, lift your knees off the floor, lift the hips. Draw your low belly up and back. Press strong into your hands, into downward facing dog. Take a peek at your feet and be sure they are sitting bones width distance, so not quite as wide as your hips, just a little bit in. Your heels may or may not touch the floor, and that's okay. You should feel some great stretch in your hamstrings. If it's too much, bend your knees, just a little, allowing the back to lengthen. Focusing on your breath, bending the knees, sending the hips back to the heels, stretching into your child's pose. If you'd like to rock a little bit into your hips to release the low back, you can, or you can just sit here and enjoy child's pose. Now we're going to step forward with our right foot between your hands and curl your back toes under, or you can leave them flat on the mat wherever you're comfortable. Squeeze the legs in toward an imaginary midline down the center of your body. The hands can remain on the floor on either side of the front foot, or you can place both hands on your right thigh or over the head. Taking time to breathe here. You want to bring that left hip forward, sending the right hip back. Release the hands to the mat. Bring that right foot back to meet the left, and we're going to send the left leg forward. So trying to square the hips here. Left hip going back, right forward. You can leave your hands on your knees, or you can reach them overhead, or keep them on the floor. Remember, yoga should feel good. So do whatever feels good. This is a great pose that allows more circulation and energy to flow into the pelvic area. And exhale, bring your hands down, and we're going to inhale our right foot to meet our left, and then we're going to slowly rise to standing, rolling our spine up, head arrives last. We're going to stand here with our feet hip width apart and parallel, so toes pointing forward. Allow the arms to rest gently by your side, palms facing forward, to receive that positive energy. Lengthen the crown of the head, tailbone down, lifting the hips up, engaging your abdomen. Mountain pose can be practiced anywhere. It helps develop body awareness and good posture for breathing, and it tones the abdomen organs. Closing your eyes, breathing. Bringing your hands to your hips, we're going to walk to the center of the mat, and we're going to set up for a tree pose. So if your balance is a little wobbly, move to a wall to hold, or you can hold onto a chair. There's different options for your leg. You can lift your leg by your ankle, your shin, never your knee, or as high as you can. You can bring your arms up overhead or keep them in prayer. The idea here is squeezing the foot into the leg into the foot to maintain your balance. And we're going to release that leg down, and we're going to bring the other leg up. So again, wherever you're at, each side is different. We need to honor where we're at on either side, pressing the foot to leg to foot. Shining your heart center forward, bringing the arms up, maybe a slight smile, breathing, strong, focused. and bring it back down. So now we're going to walk to the front of our mat and we're going to step back with our left leg, keeping our right toes pointed towards the short edge of the mat and your left leg, the knife edge of your foot, flat, parallel to the other edge. And we're going to send the left arm up and over into a side angle pose. So right forearm resting on the knee, left arm over the head. You want to feel energy going from straight out of your fingers all the way down to your leg. So trying to make that a nice angle. Then we're going to inhale to warrior two, hands to the hips, rotate the right foot in and the left foot out, bending the left knee, extending the arms out, warrior two. And then we're going to inhale up and over to side angle. So really imagining energy shooting out of those fingertips and then all the way down your foot. Side angle pose tones the pelvic organs, and it can also help with menstrual problems. It creates length and space in the torso, nourishing the organs and the glands. It's a great pose, it feels good. Bringing the feet back together. Now we're going to move into a squat pose. There's a couple variations if you need. You're going to angle your toes outward slightly and then just squat it down, keeping the knees out, pushing them out with your elbows. You can use a block to sit on for more support if you'd like. You can also do this against the wall for even greater support. But here our hands are in prayer and we're pushing our knees out with our elbows, trying to keep our spine nice and straight. Squat pose opens the groin and hips and the pelvic floor. It lengthens the spine. It also strengthens the quads, and you may feel a nice stretch in the low back. Breathing here. Lengthening out of your neck. And then we're going to go ahead and bring it all the way down to the floor. You can sit on a block to keep that spine long. We're going to bring our hands to our shoulders and we're going to do a shoulder stretch. So inhale, raise the elbows up. Exhale, bring them down. So inhale, rise the elbows towards the ceiling, and exhale through the mouth, lowering the elbows all the way back down to your rib cage. And inhale up, exhale, down. Inhale, bringing the elbows up and down. Really focusing on the breath here. Now, if you're sitting on a block, you may remove the block and we're going to move to a seated wide angle straddle. So sending the legs out wide, feet flexed, toes and knees facing straight up. You don't need to take your legs as far out, just as wherever you're comfortable distance apart. And you should have a natural curve in the low back. We're going to place our hands in front and inhale, lengthen your spine and expand your chest by pressing the backs of your legs down to the floor. Breathing here. So using your hands to push the floor away, feel your back lengthening, pushing your legs into the floor. Walk it out a little more if you'd like a deeper stretch, but only go as forward as your spine allows. If your back starts to round, you need to bring it back up. Now we're going to grab our strap and we're going to place it around our right foot or left foot, doesn't matter which side you do first. And we're going to use the strap to pull to get a little stretch on that side leg. Trying to lengthen that back. And then repeat to the other side. So the wide leg straddle pose is great because it massages the reproductive organs and stimulates the ovaries. It can also help regulate menstrual flow. As with all forward bending poses, this is a calming pose, so you should feel really relaxed here. Really taking your time, walking your hands back to the center. Inhale, complete exhale, and then walk your hands slowly, mindfully back up. We are going to bring our feet in together, so the soles of our feet pressing together. This is cobbler's pose. And you're going to place your hands behind your hips onto the floor. Inhale, lengthen your spine, expand your chest, and then go ahead and bring your hands to your feet, and exhale, roll your shoulders down as you round your back. Breathing here, full inhale, complete exhale. This pose relaxes the pelvic area and improves energy flow and blood circulation in the pelvis. So now we're going to set up for legs on the wall, and forgive me for my poor editing skills as I try to move my mat and to make it look all fancy. So move your mat to the wall, a clear space on the wall. You could bring your bolster or pillow, and you can choose to sit on top of your pillow or bolster, so lifting your hips up. Take your time as you get into this pose. It's kind of a little awkward, as you can see me trying to do this with grace. And just bring your bottom, your tailbone, your legs up the wall, and just relaxing here. So as you're here, place your hand on your belly if you'd like to, so you can feel your breathing. Going back to that intention you set at the beginning of your practice today. Another variation is to bring the soles of your feet together, opening the knees wide like a cobbler's pose along the wall, or you can keep your legs straight. So different options here for you. You're just going to be really comfortable. If you're on the main flow of your period, this pose is not advised. So we're doing this, you may feel like you're not doing anything while you're in this pose, but this pose is one of the most powerful fertility supporting yoga poses that you can practice. The abdominal organs are nourished and revitalized when the blood from the feet and legs pools into the low belly. Toxins are removed from the bloodstream as the blood flows into the lymph glands and into the groin. The central nervous system is calmed and the endocrine system is regulated. It is a great pose to do just before bedtime, as it promotes restful sleep. This pose should be done daily for at least 5 minutes during every part of your cycle except when you're menstruating. This is a great pose to listen to a guided meditation track. Just sit here and relax. Focus on your breathing. Revisit your intention. If your thoughts start to wander, bring them back. Bring them back to where you're at and find your breath. Lying still in a pose is challenging. It's why we practice daily. Relaxing the face. Focus on the breathing. Feeling the belly rise on the full inhale and fall on the complete exhale. Now we're slowly going to bring our knees and our legs off the wall, curling to one side, using our arms to push ourselves off the mat. And we're going to come into our last and final pose, corpse pose, Shavasana. I'm choosing to use the bolster or a pillow underneath my thighs to release my back. You can choose to lay completely flat, it's up to you. And we're going to go ahead and get relaxed in on the belly or the chest, or palms out along the side. I want you to feel the support of the floor beneath you. With each exhale, allow your body to feel heavy and relaxed. There is absolutely no effort needed here. Tuck your chin a little bit toward your chest so the back of your neck is long. Be relaxed, ready to receive the gifts of your practice. Again, if your mind begins to wander, acknowledge that tendency and let the thoughts come and go with each breath. We're going to stay here for about 5 minutes. Maybe if you have time, you want to stay here longer, that's absolutely fine. Corpse pose allows all the benefits of your practice to integrate into your body, mind, and spirit. It can help relieve stress and mild depression and lower blood pressure. Corpse pose can help with insomnia, fatigue, and headaches. It also encourages, most importantly, the mind to rest as the body sinks into a state of deep relaxation. So now I'm going to leave you with my voice and let you lie here in silence. If your thoughts come, let them go and return to the breath. I will bring you back when the 5 minutes is up. Slowly bring the awareness back to the room, back to your body, wiggling your fingers and your toes, stretching the arms overhead slowly and mindfully stretch like you just woke up, arching the back away from the mat a little bit. And then we're going to mindfully roll to one side of the body, pausing for a moment, giving yourself gratitude and thanks for showing up on your mat, for doing something good for you. And then we're going to use our arms and our hands to push ourselves off the mat and the earth, coming to an easy sitting position, Sukhasana. Bringing our hands to our knees, closing our eyes, and sealing our practice. Thank you so much for joining me with this Yoga for Fertility on the second half of your cycle. I really hope that it brought you peace and deep relaxation. And I will see you next time. Thank you.